Hello, my name is artdelisideshow, and you're listening to the artdelisideshow. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to be talking about some news around dynamic pricing. You've probably heard about this or experienced this yourself, where let's say using an app like Uber or DoorDash to get food, and all of a sudden some tacos that usually cost maybe $10 end up being $20 or $25 once you get to the checkout. Now, this type of strategy, technology, and experiment is being rolled out at local food retailers, mostly through digital shelf labeling. This basically means that by the time, let's say you pick up a bag of lentils, between the time that you walk through the lentil aisle to the checkout line, there could possibly be a change in the pricing of the bag of lentils that you got based on what they're calling market signals like inventory or, of course, your personal data. Now, Maryland is going to be the first state to outlaw dynamic pricing from specifically food stores and delivery. Starting October 1st, the Maryland Protection from Predatory Pricing Act, love that name, signed into law by Governor Wes Moore, will allow the AG from Maryland to impose civil penalties for up to $10,000 per violation or up to $25,000 per violation for repeat offenders. Under this act, dynamic pricing is defined as offering or setting a personalized price for a good or service that is specific to a customer based on the customer's personal data, regardless of whether the seller collected or purchased the personal data. Now, let's tune into this ABC news piece real quick about this law and then get back and talk about it some more.
Maryland is banning dynamic pricing on groceries and food delivery. AI is making it easier to change prices in real time based on customers' personal data. Now, Maryland is becoming the first state to ban the practice. Elizabeth Schelsey has more on what could be a growing trend.
Hey, Diane, this is a big move to try to crack down on dynamic pricing when companies use AI to change prices in real time based on customers' personal data. So you might pay a different price than someone buying the exact same thing at the same time. Maryland just became the first state to ban dynamic pricing at grocery stores and with food delivery services. As of October 1st, any store that uses shoppers' personal information to charge higher prices risks facing a $10,000 fine. Last year, a small case study found that Instacart charged different prices for shoppers buying the same foods at the same time. After backlash, Instacart later said it ended those pricing experiments. There have also been concerns with Walmart's shift to digital price tags in all of its stores by the end of next year. The retailer says that prices are the same no matter who is shopping. There is clearly some momentum on this. Dozens of other states have introduced legislation to try to ban dynamic pricing, including at grocery stores, or to force companies to disclose if they are using this strategy. Some consumer advocates actually say Maryland's law doesn't go far enough. For example, it doesn't apply to prices associated with stores' loyalty programs. While an Association of Maryland Businesses is pushing back, they say grocery stores don't engage in individual price gouging, and dynamic pricing is more common in industries like hotels, rideshare apps, and airlines. Diane.
What an unfortunate but obvious use of AI. The greedification of AI. That's really what's happening. The greatest minds of the generations behind us, Saul Alinsky and Ginsburg, were frying their brain on drugs. That's what they say. And our greatest minds, our geniuses, they're trying to get us to buy shit. It's just unfortunate and lack of creativity. But going back to the news item, as you mentioned, more states are banning together. There are over 40 dynamic pricing bills that were introduced since the beginning of 2026. The several states include, you can see up on the screen, California, Illinois, Colorado, and New York. But as you can see, as the way that things are framed for each one of these bills, states are just now starting to develop a common policy framework and language on how to address the issue of dynamic pricing. Going on the screen, I'm just going to read from this a little bit. The lack of uniformity across these proposals presents its own compliance challenge. Definitions vary by state. Maryland defines dynamic pricing, while California and Illinois use their term surveillance pricing. And New York legislates around personalized algorithmic pricing. Retailers operating in multiple states could face overlapping obligations with conflicting terminology. So this isn't really anything new to the retailers in the stores, but this is kind of just starting to come to light for the consumer. Now, to kind of better understand, since, even the policy framework around it is still being developed, to better understand what exactly dynamic pricing is, and honestly, just like trying to figure out how the hell is this legal, I went straight to the lion's mouth, straight to the hen's den, no, to the hen house, to the den's mouth, I don't know, straight to the horse's mouth, there we go. And I went to Salesforce to figure out how dynamic pricing is marketed, since they are a customer relations management tool and one of the biggest ones. So let's go up on the screen. I'm going to throw it up on the screen from their website. What is dynamic pricing? Dynamic pricing is a strategy that adjusts prices in real time based on demand, inventory, competitor actions, and other market signals. Instead of using fixed price, it's like dynamic pricing versus static pricing. Instead of using fixed price lists, teams rely on connected data and automation to recommend update prices as conditions shift. This is incredibly unsettling because, there's like 18 and a half wars happening. And oh my God. And also they don't even mention yet the use of personal data, but let's see if they get to it. Again, I'm going to try to not interject every 5 seconds. This helps businesses capture higher margins during peak demand. Yeah, because they don't do that already. Sorry. Respond quickly to competitors and avoid losses when sales slow or inventory builds. The strategy works best when supported by accurate data. There it is. Clear pricing rules and revenue management software that applies updates constantly across channels. When implemented well, it aligns prices with real-world conditions and results in stronger revenue outcomes. Dynamic pricing versus elastic pricing. Man, whoever's coming up with this terminology. Dynamic and elastic pricing are related but aren't the same. Price elasticity describes how sensitive consumers are to price changes, while dynamic pricing involves adjusting prices in response to market conditions. So dynamic pricing is when they change up the pricing on you, and elastic pricing is how much the consumer doesn't like the price being changed. Well, thank God, thank God we have these amazing smart ass people that are coming up with all this terminology. Dynamic pricing can incorporate elastic demand principles, but elastic pricing is a broader conceptual framework for managing revenue based on price sensitivity. This is Greedanese. This is what language is it? This is Greedanese. Should I keep? Okay, so let's read this part about the dynamic pricing example. One example of dynamic pricing is when airlines sell tickets online. They use sales software that adjusts ticket pricing based on factors like demand, time until departure, competitor prices, consumer browsing history during peak travel hour seasons, or when there's high demand for certain routes. Ticket prices increase, but when there are many unsold seats close to the departure time, prices decrease to stimulate sales. Dynamic price adjustments lets the retailer maximize revenue by capturing the highest possible price customers are willing to pay at any given moment. All right. Salesforce is pitching this to the retailers. Oh, great. Okay. How does dynamic pricing work? One, data collection. Businesses. Okay. And to be fair, data collection also includes like, who are your competitors? How much are they selling things for? How much inventory you have? So it's not just personal data, but it is also personal data. Businesses start by gathering accurate connected data. This could include sales trends, purchase histories from CRM systems, browsing behaviors, inventory sales, competitor pricing, broader market indicators. Reliable data is crucial. For example, an e-commerce retailer might combine page views, abandoned carts, previous purchases, and competitor price changes to understand buying intent and market conditions. Okay. The next one is price analysis and decisioning. Automated price adjustments. So there it is. Retailers may automate the price of wireless headphones based on real-time inventory and competitor listing. Okay, so basically this is, again, the pitch that Salesforce has for retailers to use their system for dynamic pricing. There's pros and cons. The pros are all about, increased revenue and profitability, better inventory management, improved competitiveness, adaptability to market trends. And then the con of dynamic pricing, this is golden. The first one, ethical and transparency issues. Customers or regulators might see certain practices, especially personalized or location-based pricing, as unfair or unclear, leading to increased discriminatory, not really, is this a word? Hold on. I'm cool. Yeah, no, discriminatory, that's not a word. That's like ambulance. That's not, oh my God, Salesforce. Oh my God, Salesforce, what's up? Discriminatory. This can cause trust issues and regulatory scrutiny. Customer confusion and dissatisfaction, complex implementation, and of course, the last one, risk of price wars. Interesting. Competitive pricing strategies can accidentally trigger price wars, leading competitors to undercut prices. The results can reduce profitability for everyone involved. Well, okay, so we have the 5 most common types of dynamic pricing, demand-based pricing, okay, time-based pricing, time and place, segmented pricing. What is this? Oh, segmented pricing tailors prices to different customer groups based on factors such as purchase history, loyalty status, demographics, or location. I don't think you can do that, dude. Oh Lord. The goal is to align pricing with each segment's willingness to pay. Oh, Lord. The model relies on strong third-party data to define segments and set pricing logic. It's common in retail, digital, travel and digital services where similar products can have different perceived values for different buyers. Okay, well, I'm very deeply disturbed. The third one is location-based pricing, competition-based price. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom where they have a section that's the Q&A. And the first question is, how does dynamic pricing impact customer perception? As a customer, I'm going to tell you, it makes me look at you like an asshole. The second one is, this is my question too. I like that this is the second frequently asked question for Salesforce. Is dynamic pricing legal? Yes. Dynamic pricing is legal in most markets as long as companies comply with consumer protection laws, disclose necessary information, and avoid discriminatory practices. Remember how just a second ago we talked about how they are going to change prices based on demographics? I wish I was a lawyer. I mean, I hate fucking lawyers, but I feel like this is very clearly an illegal practice. My God. In a moment, I'm going to go over how you can combat dynamic pricing or give you a couple of tips from Google searches, but also from, logic of how you can avoid or try to avoid this when you go to the store. Another one, is dynamic pricing price gouging? Not necessarily. Oh my God. I'm sick. I'm actually, okay. In the spirit of trying to not hurl, I want to actually pivot to, on the screen, I'm going to put this, how to avoid dynamic pricing. And this doesn't mean that it's like 100%. Results are not guaranteed, but they're pulling so much data about you as a person, as a consumer, as a customer. You go to the store, this is happening. How could you try to protect yourself from Big Brother? There's no other way of saying it. From AI Big Brother that's going to want to make you pay more money for a bag of beans or something. So look up at the screen. I have, 8. I think it's a good number. There's probably a couple more. If you'd like to give us, the collective group, the collective we, a couple of tips that I may have missed, pop it in the comments below because this is on YouTube. Yay. Number 1, cash. Cash is king. Cash is not king, but cash works a lot of places. Avoid anything that tracks your buying habits. So if you have a card and you swipe it, even if it's a debit card, even if it's a Cash App card, it's still, that's data. So you can try to use cash if possible. Shop at stores, not online. You can also avoid delivery fees and pickup fees because it's all marked up and it's all gathering information from your phone and browsing history and cookies and all that to give you a final dynamic price. 3, try to not use loyalty points or your phone number. What I do is I just make up a phone number. And I don't get any text messages or any coupons or anything like that, but I can still rack up points and use them. Or maybe if you grew up with a house number, like a house phone. Try to use that. Just don't use any actual phone number that's related to you. You do your area code 555-5555. That'll work. Turn off your location or app tracking and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and deny permission so stores can't pull data off of your phone while you're there. Sometimes if you go into a big box store, you see that there's like a Wi-Fi in the ether, and it senses your phone, and it's kind of like, let me in there, don't let them in there. Turn that shit off. Better yet, turn off your phone completely, or just don't bring it into the store with you. Write down a list, and that way you can have a list of the groceries that you need, whatever it is you need to buy at the store, so you don't have to have a list on your phone. Compare sites. Don't settle for the first price that you see. Let's say that you're traveling or something. Try to pull for multiple websites. Also, bonus points if you do this at the library, because then you are using their computer, so there's no info about you personally. Or it's just muddled up there with a bunch of other people's data searches and history browsing and all that. And then while we're on it for traveling, try to book either super early or super late. Stimulate sales if the tickets aren't sold. So another one is browsing on incognito. It doesn't really, the incognito is it's a misnomer. It's more like quiet, not incognito. But you can use private browsing modes to avoid price hikes based on repeated searches. Also, this isn't just for booking, traveling. This is also for, apparently, unfortunately, for Amazon searches. If you're trying to purchase things online, that's why I always recommend shopping at stores. And it's also more fun to talk to people and say, hey, I like your stuff, or, I got a question about this stuff. And then last one, using a VPN, it masks your location, and you can kind of access different price points if you connect to different places in the country or even the globe. And it is a little pricey though, so you could probably use one of these tips. You don't have to use all of them. Anyways, my name is Art Delinsky, and I'm here to fight the good fight with you. I've been talking about dynamic pricing, the new Maryland law that is banning dynamic pricing at food retailers and delivery. Don't forget to hit up the Instagram page if you want to chit chat, if you have any cues or views you want to share. We will talk again soon. Okay, love you. Bye.